Hi, I'm Shannon Cook. I'm the Director of Marketing for Balanced Body. Bill Allville, Director of Sales for Balanced Body. And Laura Hedges, Studio Manager, actually in transition to be front of house for the Thames Club. So we're super excited to be here with you. I thought I'd just like a raise of hands. Who runs Pilates mat classes currently? Does anyone run Pilates mat classes? Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean the club, not you personally. Yeah, although you could personally. And then how about reformer classes? Does anyone, you run reformer too? Okay. So you're interested in reformer, obviously. Good. So reformer is what we're here to speak about, although Balanced Body is a 50-year-old company, so we do all things Pilates. So we do apparatus, we do education, and we support with programming, marketing, etc. All right. So the question, and we've got, Bill and I have been in the UK for since Monday, and lots of meetings, right? And lots of questions around what's driving group reformer. Like group reformer is so hot in the UK right now, right? It's super hot in the US as well, and in Australia and certain other pockets of the world. But UK is huge, huge right now. What's driving that forward? And I think from our perspective and the data that we look at and talking to lots of customers, it's really coming out of COVID. So COVID, everyone shut down, right? We were all shut down. We were all forced to like deal with ourselves at home, figure out the work remote thing, et cetera. And really forced to think about what we want out of life, like what, and people in general thinking about how do I want to live my life? What level? What am I okay with? What am I not okay with? How do I want to work, et cetera? And the big thing that came out was stress management, right? I don't want to live a stressed life. I want to I want to create a life for myself where I'm being productive, I'm being successful, but I'm actually really balanced. I've got a mind-body balance. And that's what Pilates is. It's really the mind-body connection. So Joseph Pilates, the methodology is all based on connecting your mind with what your body is doing and being able to establish a calm and focus, get a really good workout. Rob. I'm not sure what I did, sorry. Get a really good workout.
Body balance in check right now.
I know, I'm like, oh geez, what happened? But really get an insane workout, but come out of the workout not feeling exhausted, but rather rejuvenated. And that's actually what people are really stoked on. It's why Pilates, thank you so much, whoever did that. Maybe it was me. So that's really what has fueled it from, sorry, Rob, I kind of I pushed a button. Sorry about that. I know. So really, that's like holistically, that is the driver behind group reformer. Then we also, obviously, we have social media is a huge impact on everyone's lives of all ages. We have professional athletes, celebrities, social media influencers have been pushing reformer. And what's really cool, and Laura and I were talking about it earlier, what's really cool is with the professional athletes, the professional male athletes particularly, posting so much about reformer work, it's driving our male engagement. So whereas 50 years ago when Ken Edelman started Balanced Body, Pilates was really for rich white women. That's really what it was for. I mean, if you didn't have money and you weren't white, you probably weren't doing Pilates, frankly. So what's happened in 50 years is it's opened up, and more recently in the last decade, 15 years, we've seen a democratization, I like to say, of Pilates. So when the studios started bringing in Pilates on a more widespread basis, so multi-unit operators as well as independent gyms started bringing in reformer and making it more accessible for more people, it started breaking down the barriers or the perceived barriers around Pilates. The irony in that is Pilates is actually for everybody. It meets you where you are in your fitness journey. It's all ages. it's all genders, it's all fitness abilities. So Pilates is great for physio work. Pilates is great for professional athletes. Ronaldo is one of our top, he uses one of our reformers. He's one of our top performers, right? And obviously you all are actually probably better familiar with Ronaldo than I am, coming from the States, but it's amazing to see the diversity of folks who engage with it. And on the gym level, what we see is an engagement around classes that are specific to certain demographics. So depending on where you are, where you're located, who you're trying to attract into your classes, you cater your reformer offerings around that demographic. So what's happening with reformer in the UK since 2016? These are all data points, and if anyone's interested, I can give you the sources. But since 2016, your participation numbers in Pilates in the UK have just continued to rise steadily. There's been no decline in Pilates. It's estimated by the Pilates Foundation, which is a UK entity. About 12 million people are currently doing Pilates in the UK, and the valuation of the market today, of the yoga and Pilates market in the UK, is around $1 billion. It's projected to reach $3 billion by 2032. We're on an upward trajectory. Like, now is the time for Pilates, and specifically for reformer Pilates. If you're not doing reformer Pilates, now would be the time to really start thinking about it and thinking about how you can carve out a space either in your existing footprint or where you can add it into your mix. It's not going anywhere. So Pilates, one of the beauties of Pilates, and I use this term and some people look at me like, what the heck? So Pilates is super sticky, right? It's a retention modality. People start doing Pilates and they don't stop doing Pilates. So, and it's a progressive methodology. So you start at the kind of fundamental level, and then you build up. And the apparatus builds with you. So you might start with reformer beds, and then you can add a tower, you can add a jump board, you can add a variety of little bits and bobs, as Katie says, but little items to make it more challenging and to increase increase the user's exercise progression. So upward trajectory for sure. So this kind of brings us, it's a good point to bring in Laura. So Laura, do you want to start? I'll ask, like, how did Thames Club get involved with, well, first of all, what is Thames Club?
So we're based in Staines in Surrey. We're a independent health club. We've got a swimming pool there. Members-wise, we've got about 2,500 members, so I'll give you an idea of the size. Swimming pool, spa facilities, high energy studio, spin studio, hot yoga, now reformer Pilates, holistic studio, and then gym as well. So we're, nice big space.
Yeah, awesome.
To get you involved with reformer Pilates and group reformer in your location.
Yeah, so going back to what Shannon said, it was after COVID basically. So we reopened after COVID, and we identified our big lounge area in the club was very underutilized. It was huge. So we basically kind of said, what can we better use the space for? It's big enough to chop it in half, basically, keep one half as the lounge and the cafe, and then make a reformer studio in the other half. So cost-wise, it was low cost initially. We put up a stud wall, we put a door in. Very luckily, we had a grant from our local council after COVID for funding to put either new equipment or something new into the club, so we chose to do reformer. And we didn't know much about reformer at that point. We kept just hearing about it, and we were like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. So we started off with 5 reformer beds in the half of the lounge area downstairs. We launched it at half term, which was probably the worst time to launch it. The first 2 weeks, we were like, oh my God, no one's going to come, and we're not going to make any money. And then it grew and grew and grew. That was in about 2.5 years ago now. And then within about 12 months, we were, from the first day of opening, we were kind of doubling the revenue that we were making. 5 beds were filling up very quickly, waitlisted classes. So we then saw an opportunity in the upstairs of our club. We had, or we still have it, e-gym, so e-gym equipment. It was in a massive, massive space. So we basically switched the studios. So we moved eGym to the little studio downstairs, which it fits in nicely. And we then reconverted the upstairs space, and we got 3 more reformer beds. So we've currently got 8 beds in there at the moment. And it's just, it's going from strength to strength. Yeah.
As far as getting trainers on site and yourself and getting trained in education, what was your journey there?
Yeah, so my background's yoga. I run the hot yoga studio there and the reformer studio. We connected with Balance Body to do training, teacher training or fitness for fitness professionals training. So we basically reached out to some of our instructors at the club that were already teaching either Pilates or yoga, for example. And a few of us went up and did the course in London through Balance Body, which was absolutely fantastic. So I can now jump into classes and stuff like that for reformer. We've got probably 10 teachers, I think, on our reformer timetable at the moment. And speaking about doing more training next year.
Yes,
so we'll
yeah,
see.
that's great. I think so, and to be clear, so the Pilates comprehensive training is actually quite a big endeavor. It's 500 hours and several $1,000s. So we created, and we've been running education for over 20 years, excuse me, and we created a bespoke group reformer for fitness professionals to upskill existing staff so that they take, it's 2 weekends, and then once you emerge from the 2 weekends, you are literally ready to step into class and start teaching. So the idea is, one kind of barrier to entry that I hear fairly commonly is, I don't know where to find instructors, right? Well, the deal is, it's upskilling existing staff. Like, you really don't want to be going out and hiring Pilates instructors that are new to your club. You can do it, but really it's taking what Laura has done is brilliant, and that's really what we recommend, is you upskill existing staff so you can leverage their followings, right? So your reformer classes are instantly filled because they're already, your members already like these instructors. Like, it's pretty much common sense. Yeah, but it's built-in revenue, right? And those revenue numbers are big. Like, when Laura first told me, quite frankly, I was like, seriously? Like, are those numbers true? And she was like, yeah, those are good numbers. So it's, I think the revenue, whether you're looking at like the revenue square foot or meter, or reformer delivers insane revenue. If you look at it compared to like spin or a high intensity interval training studio, there's really literally no comparison. As long as, I think Laura, you said your fill rates are running like 75, is that right?
Yeah, our occupancy is about 75% at the moment. So
versus your other modalities are more like
60, probably about 60%, yeah.
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 So that gives you a good idea. People are just really interested in reformer. And again, it is for everybody. So it's not it meets everyone where they are. Everyone can get engaged. And the critical piece in the mix really are the instructors, and that's why leveraging your existing staff, you already know them, this makes good sense.
The other cool thing about for everybody, it's not just for cardio or fat loss or strength training. It can be for that. It can be for better mobility. It can be for better flexibility. It can be for a rehabilitation from an injury. So there's such a wide net of benefit that your clients are going to receive from reformer Pilates. It's not just to one kind of keyhole reason why they're going to be in that class as well.
Laura, can you speak to, because you have your model, which is, and there are variations, but on how you charge for reformer Pilates?
Yeah, so the club at the moment is in a bit of a transition in terms of we're looking to 2025, new membership models, all that kind of stuff. We've made a firm decision that reformer will continue to be a paid product. And it always has been since we brought it in. So you do not have to be a member. It's a members club, but reformer and hot yoga is separate pricing. We have kept our pricing very competitive with what we know is around us. A drop-in class is £25. And we also do The bulk of our revenue will come from drop-ins or packs of classes, which range from anywhere from £100 up to £200 for classes, 5 and 10 packs. And then we have monthly memberships as well. So we've got a real nice little core group of people that are doing a subscription membership. And those range from, we do 4 classes a month, 8 per month, 12 per month, and 16 classes a month. And that's anywhere from £80 up to £260 a month. And what's really nice is people are either using Reformer to support their other training. They're doing weightlifting, they're doing swimming, they're doing whatever. But then you've got other people that are just doing Reformer. You know, we've got one lady, she's like, how much for me to do another 2 classes a week? Can you, so, and she's spending a lot of money, £260 a month just for Reformer, but that's her thing. That's what she's doing. And she loves it. She's stress.
Yeah,
she's
stress.
got
Stress management.
all these YouTube channels, and I spoke to her the other day and found out what she actually does, and she was like, "That's why I need my Reformer classes, because it's just my switch off time."
Yep.
So Reformer will always be for us a paid product because it's a good revenue builder.
Yeah.
And the programming you're going to get from a Reformer, it's almost endless, right? The different types of movements that just on the reformer itself, you're going to have fresh programming you can offer your clients. And then once you get to a point to where you want to add on to that, there's certain accessories and props you can make it even further, be it with a tower or accessories that we can offer for you, extended platforms, et cetera. So there's just so many things you can do with this to keep the programming fresh, where you're not just doing redundant type of workouts and group exercise for your clients as well.
Yeah. From my experience of doing classes with my teachers, I've never done a class that's the same, ever. Every time there's something new that we do, and I'm like, oh, we haven't done that before. So, yeah, it's good. They do a great job of keeping it, mixing it up and keeping it fresh. So, yeah.
Just wanted to tell you a little bit about, I was thinking there was something else I wanted to ask you, and it kind of went in and out of my mind. I think it might have been around instructor pay, right? Yep. And so, can you speak to that?
So we try and give our teachers back-to-back classes, which just makes sense for instructors. Again, we know what other studios are paying in the area. We pay £35 per class. It's a 50-minute session. They're doing those back-to-back classes, and that's with the expectation that they're there before and after class to speak to their students. That's really important for us. The same with hot yoga. We pay a little bit more for hot yoga, but again, the expectation that they're there speaking to their clients, understanding injuries, all that kind of stuff. That's really, really key. And Reformer, probably even more so than hot yoga, so many people are coming for rehab purposes. 2 days ago, guy just moved from London to Staines. He's been doing one-to-one reformers in Staines, in London. He was like, oh my God, you guys are so cheap. Like your classes. I said, yeah, but you're not living in London. But he's had spine surgery. He's rehabbing his spine. So, and Reformer just really works for him. So yeah.
I think we were also talking about the size of your class. So I think one of the things, you might see a lot of media attention on these huge Reformer classes. You're looking at like 20, 22, 24, up to 30 beds in a class, which is, from a Pilates standpoint, is really tough to imagine how the instructor gets around and cues everyone, because Pilates is really a very precise methodology. So, but in Laura's case, and I think for independent gyms in general, what you bring to the table, or can bring to the table with Reformer, is the really one-on-one interaction. So she has 8 beds. So she had 5 beds, and then they found that they'd capped out on their revenue, so added 3 more beds. So I think now it's like 50% increase in revenue. Yeah. But beyond that, you've got 8 beds. So you're still able to offer the one-on-one attention, that intimate session, which is quite different from what the larger clubs are offering. So if you're thinking about Reformer and you're wondering, well, how am I going to differentiate it? The big piece of it is you're offering a much more intimate setting. If you stay 10 beds or under, it's a lot more intimate than what the larger clubs are doing. Yeah, the personal attention.
And I think that's what clients really do want. It's, when you say, some of you might sit here and go £25 per class is a lot, or some of you might go, actually, that's pretty reasonable, but it's affordable small group training for people.
Yep.
And we have people that have been to other studios that are much bigger, and you don't get that attention. You don't get that, if you're not doing reformer Pilates properly, there's no point doing it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
And the teachers as well, even going from 5 to 8 beds, some of our teachers were like, oh yeah, 8's probably, enough. There's a lot for a teacher to be managing a room of 20 machines and 20 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No question. Did someone have a question? Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'm just going to ask actually, is there an optimum number of beds you would like to have per instructor? Because we look at it and think, the smaller the volume of beds, the more intimate the class, the more hands-on support.
Yeah. I think it's get feedback from your instructors and speak to them.
So actually, Laura has a great analogy. I mean, from your instructors, anecdote, not analogy.
Yeah.
From your instructors being like, oh, we're going from 5 to 8.
Yeah, even 5 to 8. Like I had a proper conversation with them all and said, well, we probably have got 9 in the space. We could have put another one in there. And they were quite nervous about it to begin with. And for them, they didn't want to lose the personalised experience for the customer. That was at the top of their list of priorities. They're all used to teaching, Pilates classes, mat Pilates, 25, 30 people, but reformer is a different beast. There's a lot going on the machines, and in terms of also the structure of your timetable and having fundamental classes, mixed level, whatever it is, we've started having this conversation with the teachers. How do we only allow beginner people to book into that class, because some are going to dynamic classes and then the teacher's having to stop and kind of say, well, this is where you put the straps and this is how you move this and that and the other. It's technically, there's a lot going on the bed. So that's also something to think about with the number of people that you have in a class. The more people you've got in there, the more risk there is of people needing to stop and start and all this kind of stuff. So then it's thinking about the flow of the sessions. But I mean, for me, being in a full class with 8 people as a student, 8's a nice number. Max 10, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say 10.
Like 6 to 8 when you're starting, right? And you're getting your trainers up to speed, and they're getting some more experience under their belt is kind of that sweet spot that we're seeing. Anything beyond 10, you're going to need a fairly seasoned trainer in the room, and you're not going to, probably for your location, not going to have that differentiation that you'd have versus some of the other kind of bigger gyms that are out there. And that's going to be your one of your key points you can lean on, right? But on initial, I would say 6 to 8 would be the first kind of entry point to go with.
Yeah, you can always add.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, was there another question? No. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, you can
we keep ours static, but you can tilt them. Our ones, I think, we've taken the wheels off of ours just to
have you?
We took them off just because we weren't moving them.
But
you can tilt them and wheel them. So if you wanted to have them upright, if it's going to be a space where you use reformer and then don't use reformer because you want the floor space, then you can do that. Yeah.
Was that okay insurance-wise?
Yeah. We obviously had to check. And the teachers' insurances as well. That's the other thing to think about. They've all got insurances that include teaching reformer and using the machines and stuff. So definitely check that as well. So yeah, and also things like it's a machine with parts. Get it serviced regularly as well. So we've just recently had ours all done, and they're all It was interesting actually with the guy that came out and did them. He was like, "Oh my God, your reformers are like spotless."
Beautiful.
And he was like, "But what he's found is pre-COVID beds. He said loads of beds, not specifically balanced body, but he says he's so many corroded beds because everyone was massively spraying everything down during post-COVID. We kind of missed that bit. So he was like, "Your beds are in like really good condition." So
I did that.
What percentage of people that do reform Pilates would you say just do that rather than other aspects of the work?
The majority. Most of our reformer customers are not club members. They're paying and just coming in for that. We give our club members incentives and discounts to do reformer, so they'll get a cheaper drop-in rate, for example, but not too much. But yeah, most of them are just coming in to do that. We have a really nice, since we moved the reformer studio upstairs to the first floor, it's right next to the hot yoga studio. And there's been a really nice transition of hot yoga and reformer customers. So some of them are doing both. They're like, when are you doing a hot yoga and reformer only membership? Which we're trying to think about how we do that because they work really nicely together. But yeah, both for hot yoga and reformer, I would say 75% of the revenue is non-members. Yeah. Yeah. We gave all the members a little taster and a free class at the beginning and hooked some of them in, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's great to get that incremental income, right? So to see that revenue coming in from different places, and it does expose them. So if they're not members to begin with, they might become members, right? I think.
And that's we've definitely seen that as well. Although Reformer will always stay as a per price model, hot yoga we're looking at a kind of an ultimate membership that includes hot yoga in it as well, which is a fairly high price point. But we are definitely seeing people transition into being club members that have just come through the door as a Reformer customer as well. So
Introduction,
yeah.
entry point.
Yeah.
So just wanted to also tell you a little bit about Balanced Body. So we are, as I said, we're a 50-year-old company. We were founded in Sacramento, California. We're still in Sacramento, California. We're now in a much bigger space. So that's the top of our building. We have our beyond building really cool, awesome Pilates apparatus. Our second claim to fame is we have one of the largest commercial solar system installations in the state of California. So we are completely powered by solar. Our owner-founder is still very active in the business on a daily basis, and his ethos is all about sustainability and keeping our carbon footprint to nil. He wants to leave this earth having not had any more impact on it than absolutely necessary. So Ken is great. He's not an engineer by school, but he's definitely an engineer by mind. He holds over 300 patents in Pilates apparatus design and innovation. So he's really the one, when he started in the business in '76, there were 10 Pilates studios in the world. So you can imagine, he's just seen everything. And there was really one way to build a reformer. It was really the way Joe had built the reformer back in '56. So he has done, his mark is all over Pilates apparatus, both on ours and on our competitors or others. We do soup to nuts, we do apparatus, education, installation, service. So in the UK, we work with service providers. We have real strong partnerships. We custom design packages. So if you want education with apparatus, you don't have to take education with apparatus, but if you want it, we custom tailor that. Anyway, so we have a UK warehouse. Do you want to speak more to that point?
Yeah, so we have a UK warehouse that's located right outside of Heathrow Airport. So we keep stock on hand. We keep replacement parts on hand. Gives us a very high service level if you run into any issues with your equipment. As Shannon said, we have a very strong network of a few partners who can come out and do an installation for you if that's something you'd want to leverage, or if there's any service issues that we can get someone out to see you very quickly as well if there's a problem there. But we have feet on the ground, we have product in stock ready to support and help you grow your business.
We also have a robust maintenance and service video library. So we have over 300 videos on literally every aspect of all seven models of reformers that we sell now. So every little thing that possibly could go wrong that you would need to replace, we've got a video for it.
If you want to become a technician on Balanced Body equipment, it's called Balanced Body Garage, and probably 75% of the videos are being led by our CEO, walking you through any type of everything from unboxing to installing to if your foot bar gets stuck, this is how you release it. It's once again, it's a multitude of videos, and if you wanted to take the time, you could be a subject matter expert.
And obviously they're all free, they're fully accessible, et cetera. And then I think so Laura's you're running A1s, right? Allegro ones, yeah. So Laura's running the reformer. That's our what we call our workhorse reformer. It's 25 years old this year when and it was actually the first reformer that went into a group fitness environment. Bally's Health and Tennis Corporation, which at the time was a big chain, no longer exists, but 200 plus clubs in the States. But that was Ken's first kind of big deal. And it was the first time that in the commercial fitness market, they tried to launch reformer Pilates. So they were successful financially, they were not successful, so they no longer exist. But so that's a little bit about us. And I might have neglected to say, hopefully not, but we do make everything in California. So we employ over 200 craftsmen, metal workers, woodworkers, finishers, assembly guys, and women. Upholsterers, our upholstery team is
Seamstress,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Our seamstresses. So pretty cool. If anyone's ever in Northern California, Sacramento's about an hour and a half north of San Francisco, Ken gives a great factory tour, and he loves giving them. So please ring us up. He's happy to do it. And then just talking about resources. So obviously we've recognized we're a big player in the Pilates market, and in Reformer in particular, we saw the genesis around Reformer in the UK, in the States, in Australia, during COVID, and really focused on developing resources to support our customers. So whether it's marketing resources, which obviously falls under my domain, or it's something on the sales or service side, which is more on Bill's domain. We have space planners, so you can actually go on our website and just map in your size of space and kind of see how things might fit. We have a return on investment tool, so you can plug in what you're buying, what you're paying your instructors, how many classes you're running a week, and figure out what your ROI is, or potential ROI is.
And we have some financing partners as well, if you want to go that path. So if you didn't want to pay all the upfront costs initially, there's financing partners we can put you in touch with.
In the UK, yeah.
I am your finance partner, John.
Yes.
Oh, good, he's here.
And
Yeah.
they are absolutely excellent.
Totally, I didn't mean to dive in.
No, please.
Genuinely, the number of people that come back to us, can we fund again, can we go again? And we love lending because they pay.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's a good model, right?
It's a good model for everyone.
Why would you pay cash when your customers can pay for themselves for the equipment they use? And the other tagline, I'll leave you, sorry. Non-BA, Virgin, Ryanair, they don't own a plane or a train. You and I pay when you sit on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's genuinely true. You lease the asset, at the end you pay a month, you own it. It's a very, very
Johnson Reed.
common way to acquire assets. So I'll leave that with you. We have a standard deal finder.
Yeah.
If you come down and see our booth, they're right
Right
across from
across
us,
from
so
us, yeah.
it wouldn't be difficult to find. Go see them. They're great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So I thought we'd kind of leave you with some words from Paul Bedford, who's here in having his retention event conference. I keep wanting to say retention invention. That's a U.S. thing. Anyway, it's not. It's a kids thing. Anyway, but just that Paul came out and was. I mean, he obviously looks at a lot of data. And came forth with his comments around Reformer Pilates. Obviously identifying that, yes, Reformer Pilates is booming. And why is that important in the commercial fitness market? It's important in the commercial fitness market because Pilates is so sticky. People come back for it more frequently than they come back for other classes, which means they tend to stay members longer, so you're retaining members in addition to using group reformer, Pilates Reformer to attract new members. So I thought that was really, really brilliant and perfectly applicable to this session. Reformer Pilates participants really are the members you want in your clubs because they're going to stick around. So that is about all I have. Are there any more questions?
Yeah, haven't been asked.
Nikki.
Just a little one for you, Laura. So you went from 5 to 8 beds. How many classes are you running in a week? And are you finding demand still for that number? Is there still wait lists?
Yeah, so we do 32 classes a week. Normally 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, a lunchtime one, early morning one.
I'm sorry.
And then at the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we have 3 back-to-back in the morning. Everything's done by lunchtime on a Saturday and Sunday. We were talking about this earlier, and it's the same in any fitness, and when you have teachers and stuff. All our teachers are fantastic, but there are some that are more popular than others. You're always going to have that. And their classes are always waitlisted. And if I could give them more classes and put more classes on, but it's their time and everything as well. So there's probably a couple of classes at the moment that we're like, okay, we need to kind of have some tough discussions with them in the new year. But by and large, the demand is still there, yeah.
And is the payment model, they pay an amount and they get access to as many of those reformer classes as they want? Or is
We'll never do unlimited reformer. We just can't with that number of beds. We had a 4, 8 and 12 classes per month model, so 12 classes a month, 3 classes a week. We've just launched 16 a month because people are wanting, we basically, when they do their 12 classes, they then pay 20 quid for an extra class. So they get it a bit cheaper than a drop-in class. So we keep upping it a little bit, but to do unlimited, putting a price point on that is really hard because a lot of people would probably do it and then you'd fill up all your spaces and not make as much money.
Like fighting over the bed
Right,
stuff.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't want to. When we went from 5 to 8 beds, we were getting people. We did have comments that people were like, "Oh, I'm not even bothering going on the wait list because I'm not going to get on." So that was when we were like, "Right, we do need more beds.
Right.
The demand is there for it." And then it's kind of plateaued out nicely a little bit now. And maybe with our new membership models at the club, more footfall and stuff coming through, we'll see another uplift. And then at that point, we go, what other space can we convert into another reformer studio, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I was
David.
at Third Space last night, the opening of the new one in Richmond, their 13th club. And Colin Waggett, the MD, was talking about how Reformer is running at 98% capacity, and it's the 2% is actually downtime for them to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
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 And every club, and they're expanding the Reformer facilities in a number of sites.
Yeah.
So, and that's going from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 at night.
Yeah, it's, yep.
Yeah, we've definitely got, I think, when we get to the problem where we're having, again, little people kind of saying, I can't get into classes, we're more classes. Just put more classes on. The turnaround time between classes can be short as well. We have a 10-minute gap between classes. It's out and in. So, yeah.
And you're really just wiping down the beds. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really all, that's in between classes, it's really you're just wiping down the beds. Unless you're resetting the springs, or, the instructor could be doing that. But
we had a very lengthy conversation about that recently.
Oh, I'm sure.
How should we be leaving the
How
bed?
should we
What
be
is our
set up?
standard
Yeah.
practice?
Yeah.
Should we leave springs on? Should we take them off? So,
Yeah. Where should the loops go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a little bit controversial what you said. So we've got 16 beds in the studio.
Yeah.
It does work for those that are thinking a little bit more. But definitely, like you said, we have to be. We've got 6,000 members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we use it to divide. So hybrid studio, it has yoga in as well. So that's why we put the beds up.
Sure.
But yeah, we're getting to that point where we're sitting at 87% utilisation. Like, how do we put more of your classes on for members, but not take away the yoga studio? And we run out of space in the club, which isn't helpful.
Yeah.
We've
Sure.
got nowhere to go.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, even when you get to that amount of beds, I think you can still sometimes struggle because the demand is so high for them.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, and it's hard.
Yeah, so we've got two different
I was just gonna-
types.
yeah.
Standard membership, which includes all standard classes, like to call them, but still like your aerobics, West Mills, and then we've got a premium, which includes reform and a high intensity boutique studio. Very much like Barry's, but it's called Sweat Studio.
Okay.
So that's a higher premium. They only get 6 a month. So similar to yourself, if they want more, they top up at £20 a class. And then we've got a pay you option, which is £25 or packs, which non-members can do. So it's the only class they can do. But yeah, so 2 different models.
What studio software do you use? I'm just curious.
So we, in transition, so we use Team Up for the Reformer Studio, but
Okay.
we are going to explore. So.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I'm just curious if there's a way to block out. So if you have unlimited, like if there's any way to block out spaces, we were talking about this earlier. In Mind-Body, I know you can do it, but so if you can block out so many spaces, say go to unlimited versus, so that the same people aren't taking all of the classes, right?
Yeah,
that's what.
What we did, like, same as you would never do unlimited because you just have to.
Exactly. Oh yeah, there's no way. Yeah. When why would you really? It doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. The revenue's too
It
strong.
puts you in a box, right?
Yeah.
You can be more reactive for your supply and demand if you're doing it more on an a la carte basis.
Yeah. And yeah. Good question. Thank you. Or comment. Yeah. Anything else? We're here. We're downstairs.
Please come see us.
Yeah. Happy to chat. I feel like there was something else. that I'm forgetting, but that's okay. I'll remember when I get downstairs.
We're here.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you
yeah,
so much
good.
for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.